Hi, first graders. This is Mrs. Gould, and I teach first grade at Skyline Elementary. And today is the last word work week. So after today, after this week, this will be your last word work lesson and last word work video. So this is the very last one for your first grade school year. All right, so we are going to learn not a new sound. You've learned this sound before, but you've never learned this sound with this letter. All right, are you ready to see what it's going to be this week? All right, everyone get excited. Ready? Last one for the year. Drum roll, please. And here it is. You've learned this letter before. It's the letter G, but this week it's not making the G sound like in grapes. So that's the hard G sound. It's making a soft G sound like J, as in the word luggage. So, ooh, this word has two sounds. It has the first G sound, like in grapes, but the last G has the J sound, which is what we're learning this week. Right, here's a rule. It says, if you see a word with a GE, like in luggage at the end, then it will usually have the soft G sound, which makes the J sound. Okay, so our learning target for today and the rest of this week with our word work is to learn the soft G makes a J sound. And you know you will be successful after this lesson if you can do these three things. The first one is that you can be able to read the spelling words. That you should be able to write the words correctly. That also means print them correctly on the lines. And the last thing is you should be able to use the words in sentences. All right. Here are our words for this week. The first word is age, page, cage, badge, budge, fudge. Now these two words are from last week. It's just a review. Old and most. And then here are just some other two words. Floor and peace. Okay, now I want you to just look at the first 6 words. And what do you notice about those first 6 words? I'm going to repeat them and see what you notice about them. Age, page, cage, badge, budge, and fudge. What do you notice? Tap your head if you notice that all of the words has a J sound, which is a soft G sound. I noticed that. Very good. Now I want to remind you of a reading strategy you've learned already. It's called flip the sound. So if you see a word and you see a G, you might want to read it with a G sound. So let's try it. Here's the word. Ready? Let's pretend that this G has the G sound. Egg, pig. Does that make sense? Okay, let's try to flip this sound from the G sound to the J sound. Now let's try it. Age. Oh, that makes sense. That sounds like a real word I've heard before. So remember to flip the sound sometimes. If you see the G has 2 sounds, a G sound and a J sound. So you might need to use that strategy if you ever come across the G sound. Okay, now I want to pause for a moment and I want you to go get a pencil and a paper. We're going to practice writing our words. Okay, are you ready? If you're not ready, you can always pause the video and then start it up again. All right, our first word is the word age. All right, so A, well, that's easy, J. Now remember, it's not a J. There's a letter that's making a J sound this week. It's a G. And then remember that rule, bossy E makes the A say A. So there, E is making A say A. And then that other rule I said earlier, that if you see a G next to an E, that it's going to make the J sound. All right, so I'm going to write the age 16. I'll tell you that in a second. Right now, I want you to think of a sentence using the word age. Now, these words this week are going to be a little bit more tricky thinking of sentences, so you really got to use your brain. All right. Now, my sentence is, what age can you get a driver's license? And that age is 16. Okay, the next word that we're going to write is the word page. Now, page kind of sounds like age, except it has a letter sound in front. So, p, there's a P, and then age. Looks like it's the same, but just with the P in front. Page. Now, I want you to think of a sentence using the word page. Okay, I drew a page in a book. Please turn to page 5 in your book. That's my sentence. Okay, the next word is the word cage. That rhymes with page, except there's one sound that sounds different. It's a beginning sound. So, well, it could be a K, but it could also be a C. I'm going to go ahead and try the C. And then, since it rhymes, it should hopefully be spelled the same, cage. Now I want you to think of a sentence for cage. Okay, my sentence is, there is a pretty bird in the cage. All right, next word is the word badge. Now this one is different, so let's try to sound this out. And remember, because it's next to an E, it's going to say the J sound. Badge. Okay. Think of a sentence using the word badge. Oh, I also want to remind you, we're using the headline for a B, and then stopping at the foot line. And then a G, remember, starts at the belt line that goes down into the basement. All right, badge. So think of a sentence with badge. Okay, here's my sentence. Officer Buckle wore a badge on his shirt. All right, next word is budge. That sounds pretty similar to badge, except the B sounds the same, but that's the U sound. But the rest sounds the same. Budge. So think of a sentence using budge. Now budge, if you don't know what budge means, it just means to move. So I'm going to tell you my sentence. So here's a picture of a door. The door will not budge. So another word for budge would be move. So the door will not move. Okay, the last word is the word fudge. Hey, that rhymes with budge, but the first sound sounds like an F sound. fudge. Now remember the G goes down into the basement. Okay, think of your sentence. I'm drawing my picture. And my sentence is, my favorite ice cream topping is hot fudge. All right, nice job. Let's go ahead and reread these words. Remember, the G is making a J sound. Age, page, cage, badge, budge, and fudge. Nice work. So let's review our success criteria. Were you able to spell the words correctly? Were you able to print them on the lines correctly? And were you able to come up with a sentence for those words? That was probably tricky this week. Nice job if you were. Okay, so tomorrow, remember, you get to choose how to practice your words. This is your word work menu. You get to choose one of these, just one, and one of them being the worksheet. Okay, now last thing is a little over a week. It will be summer, and I'm sure you're probably getting excited because the weather's looking nice outside and you probably want to go play outside. So I want to remind you that you worked super hard this year learning words, and you probably don't want to forget them before second grade. So I want to encourage you to practice them during the summer, but you can still make it fun. Still make it fun and practice your words over the summer. You can write your words in the sand. You can use Legos to make words. You can make words with Play-Doh. You can make words with pasta. You can give your brother and sister a spelling test and they can give you one. So remember to make it fun, but still try to practice your words so that you can be ready for second grade next year. Have a great summer, and thank you for learning with me. Bye for now.